Hugo Pettit, Cristea, Martinez. Flag is looking set to go out, and we are racing here in K100 Junior. Again, that inside line getting a really good jump. Vidmontien. You see Malquit Jaramillo looking to work his way up. Still shuffling. Vanchev on the inside of Golseth. Getting over-under there by Max Cristea. Very Dutch Westbrook-like there. That corner definitely going to be one of the ones to watch when we get into that final lap. But for the second time around, it's going to be Enzo Vidmontien. Gets through on Cristea. As Cristea looking to set up the over-under. He gets it done. So Cristea's back ahead of Nathan Golseth, who is currently the fastest driver on the racetrack, 50.805 so far for Nate Golseth, as he's just behind Cristea, behind Abador Martinez, not too far off of Antonino. Cristea fading low, back in a line, but this driver looking to get himself further up inside of the top 10. He sits 9th at the moment. In your top 3, the battling.
Make it 5 up on the order for Vanchev. Martinez through. Adams going to drop back behind Max Cristea as well. And behind Forrest Adams, it's actually your biggest mover of the entire race.
It's kind of a head scratcher there to be battling so early in this race as well, because they're just losing a whole lot of time here as Golseth still battling it out here in the mid-pack with tone it down just a little bit. Cristea going to go on Martinez here, and they're going to now look to work their way up in the field, because that's exactly what they need here halfway through this race.
Yeah, we saw a good move there from Max Cristea. Further back, we saw Golseth and Edgar Rodriguez. Is an absolute rocket headed by John Antonino. That train is continuing to grow, and Antonino now up over 10.
Across junior categories, he was very strong at the Stars Championship Series, at the United States Pro Kart Series as well so far this year, and at the SCUSA Pro Tour as well with that entire.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just tuning in, you may think it's the final lap of the event, but there's still 12 laps to go here in this KA Junior final, but it begins now. The gloves are officially off, and we may have thought that these drivers wised up a little bit and said, you know what, let's make it a 3-car breakaway. But the moment you begin the battle, the moment you do this right now, the bottom of the racetrack, Fisher, Antonino around the outside of turn 8, finds grip where no one else has all weekend. And Vidmontien going to throw it at the inside, a 2-for-1 Dutch Westbrook style. John Antonino to the point.
This kid is on rails here, and for the first time all weekend long, he was nowhere at the start. Vidmontien is sent into the pits here after rim riding that entire runoff area there on that curbing, and finds himself.
This is classic, right? This is what I meant, where it begins to implode halfway through this event here. And Ty Fisher is one of the only drivers that was in that lead group that has maintained his position. Antonino up over 15 positions. Further back, Max Cristea. He qualified outside your top 10. He's up into 3rd, and wow, that's a late fade for Antonino. Fisher thought about a move further back. Here's Edgar Rodriguez, Forrest Adams. They have seen new life now in this KA Junior main event. They were seemingly out of it. Behind them, I think we might have seen Nate Golseth trying to make a move there as well on Edgar Rodriguez, but this group will continue to grow as they battle harder. Vanchev defending on Max Weiland. All the while, MPG and John Antonino leads this group. Weiland fades slightly for 3rd, but thought better of it. This is a huge group here, all the way down to at least 10th position, maybe further in this one. So let's look at your movers once again. Antonino up 16 spots, make it 15 or 14 as he loses a couple here. Fisher's going to go through. Vanchev's going to go through as well as he runs him out of road potentially here into turn number 5. But Antonino is going to hold that line slightly. Vanchev up on the curbing there. That's a scary point to go 4 tires in the air.
Yeah, everybody bumper to bumper as Vanchev going to defend from Weiland. Not going to defend enough though. Cristea sets up the over-under move. That was picture perfect there for Max to set that up nicely. And you have there a couple of other drivers still continuing to fight. Rodriguez, Golseth, kind of work with Ty Fisher here a little bit and push each other forward and further away from all this mid-pack scrum that's going on here further back with Weiland, Cristea, Martinez. You have Vanchev in this group, and as well for Rodriguez, who finds himself well inside of the top 10 now in the 7th spot. Golseth finally get himself up there as well. In the 8th spot, you have Forrest Adams and Gassiet Lee again. I mean, a lot of your front runners have really just fallen off the board after incidents and
Vanchev, Martinez,
and Max Cristea starting to close in, as well as Alexander Vanchev. Everybody's going to want to get up there. They're going to want to be in prime position to strike towards the end of this race, and Ty Fisher not going to attempt that move, but that's going to allow everybody else to start stacking and packing here. And Weiland just at the tail end here of Ty Fisher. You have Cristea there as well, Vanchev.
But at some point, we have to start doing this. Antonino bottom of the racetrack, Fisher and Weiland falls through. Vanchev says, you know what, if you're going to open the door, Max, I'm going to go through. So move Vanchev up to P4, Cristea's through, and then behind them, that's a good battle between Martinez and Rodriguez. You don't want to fight too much if you're Amador, because you don't want to lose track of the top 5. But here we go, Edgar Rodriguez is going to make his decision easy because he's going to go around him. So move Edgar Rodriguez up into the top 6, and you can see one move is all it takes. You lose a couple of kart lengths to this lead group. it shouldn't matter too much.
Everybody, Ty Fisher going to the low side. Antonino around the outside. Weiland sets up the over-under move quite perfectly, and Antonino's back up to second. It looked like Fisher wanted to clear the bottom. He gets clear on Weiland, who slots back to second, and more drivers start to join this lead group. Golseth at the end, Adams, Gassiet, Lee, Martinez, everybody there, as Cristea going on the inside of Vanchev, who loses a spot there to Rodriguez, who's able to get through. Vanchev not wanting to waste any time. He wants to go back. Won't be able to get it done.
Yeah, look at this. Here we go. 5 laps to go for John Antonino and Max Weiland. They have a decent advantage over Ty Fisher, who's got himself back into that 3rd spot. Max Cristea has maintained that 4th place position. Rodriguez now 5th. Look at this train of go-karts behind them. It goes 10th a couple laps ago. He's in the top 5 now.
Yeah, and everybody going to start to battle here. Does Max Weiland go in a 1? He's going to wait here, and Fisher going to wait as well, as Chase Gassiet now at the helm of the second group, looking to close down the gap to the top 4. And I mean, they're doing a good job. Let's compare the lap times here really quickly. And actually, that's not, because Max Weiland's going to the point of the field. Ty Fisher goes up to second. Antonino slots back in a line, and I was going to compare lap times, but Alex, there's no need for that now, because they're going to lose a whole lot of time with all this passing, and that's going to allow Gassiet, Lee, and Kumper, and this is going to help them out as well, as Fisher on the inside of 8. He gets clear. Weiland stuck on the outside, side by side there with Max Cristea as well, as Weiland's able to get clear, but Chase Gassiet officially arriving on the scene now and on the rear bumper of Max Cristea.
Here we go. We're getting ready to cross the stripe to see 3 laps to go here for Race Lab TV and Ty Fisher. The pace has been there. He won the KA Junior Shootout 2 nights ago and was on the racetrack a little bit further back now. Antonino's going to go around the outside potentially of Fisher. Has to slot back in line with Weiland in 3rd. Gassiet Lee thought about going up the inside of Max Cristea, but the door was immediately shut. Like you said, Caleb, the more they begin to battle, as Fisher drops a tire there, he's going to have to go low now because his run out of 6 was compromised here. Late on the brakes for Fisher, around the outside for Max Cristea. He's going to get run out of road, though.
Yeah, definitely getting run out of road, drops the tire into the dirt. Going to have the inside line, though, on Vanchev. So that definitely fell into his hands. And for Gassiet Lee as well, who's on the inside of Vanchev, who gets run wide there onto the escape route. And everybody cycling their way through. Vanchev stuck on the outside. And again, Adams looking to get clear. But this time around, 2-6 are up in the air. And officially crunch time for Antonino, who goes up to the point of the field and up in the air. 2 tires went up. We saw the bottom of the go-kart there for Rodriguez, who went airborne for just a second. He's still battling, and we have about 10 to 15 cars in this lead train as Antonino's leading us away.
Fisher, what a move around the outside of Max Weiland, who's generous enough to give him room there. Fisher now back to P2. Antonino, we saw a move down in turn number 1 on the inside of Fisher. You left the door wide open there for the MPG driver, but maybe, just maybe, Ty Fisher's in the spot that he would like to be in P2. The entire top 6 goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Nobody trying the over-under. There's too many go-karts to count here. We see further back, Naomi Garcia going off the racetrack. Vidmontien's actually back in the lead group like I had mentioned after skateboarding off the racetrack in the midway point of this one. Nonetheless, though, one more time around here for your KA Juniors and for John Antonino.
Yeah, you say Vidmontien's in the lead group, but so is everybody else here, Alex, as Antonino going to start to defend. Fisher looking to set up an over-under coming up the hill. Antonino to the bottom of the racetrack needs to be careful with how wide he washes out. Fisher gets a nose down low. He's at the bottom of the racetrack, and again, Antonino just washed out way too wide. He's around the outside. Weiland going side by side.
Weiland's going to run him out of road there and move Max Weiland up into that 2nd place spot and maybe in prime position to make something happen, get creative against Ty Fisher. He inevitably goes to the bottom of the racetrack here. Who goes high, who goes low? Fisher low, Max Weiland low, round the outside goes Antonino, a little bit too wide there. They're side by side through 9.
Yeah, and here Ty Fisher needs to be careful, can't get over-undered as there goes Antonino side by side. Ty Fisher is within a best shot to get his maiden national race victory. One more corner to go. It's been a long time in the making, to say the least, for the Lime Green TB kart, but the wait is over today. Ty Fisher is an Iame Grand National Champion.
Weiland to 3rd, a great podium there for Magic Kart USA and KA Junior here, only 800 back from what would have been a Grand National title. Max Cristea as well, he was up a handful of spots in this one. What a run for TKG and Kart Republic there. Chase Gassiet, he got